XT, small European village. Early morning. The sun rises slowly over a sleepy cobblestone village. The mist curls around the red roofs and stone chimneys like soft ribbons. Church bells ring faintly in the distance, echoing through the valley. The streets are quiet, except for one small bakery, its chimney already puffing gentle clouds of smoke into the cool morning air. Inside lives Grandma Elsa, a woman in her late 60s with silver hair tied in a bun and hands dusted with flour. Her eyes are soft, lined with warmth, but behind them lives the ache of many lonely mornings. Inti Bakery, continuous. The bakery is humble but full of life. Rows of bread rise golden in the oven. The smell of freshly baked loaves fills the room, that deep, comforting scent that makes strangers feel at home. Elsa hums softly as she kneads dough on her wooden table. Elsa, softly, to herself. Good bread takes patience, just like good hearts. A photo sits near the flour jars. A young man in uniform, smiling. Her son, Lucas. He left months ago to find work in another town. Letters had come for a while, then stopped. Elsa wipes her hands, glances at the picture, and whispers, "Elsa, wherever you are, my boy, may you never go hungry." She places a warm loaf on the windowsill, her morning ritual. XT, bakery window. Moments later, a stray cat sits by the window, tail flicking lazily. Soon footsteps echo, hesitant, uneven. A homeless man in tattered clothes approaches. He looks at the bread but hesitates. Elsa sees him through the glass, smiles softly, and nods. Elsa, through the window. "Go on, dear. It's for anyone who needs it." The man bows his head, takes the loaf, and disappears down the street. Elsa watches, her face glowing with quiet satisfaction. This is her secret kindness. Every morning for years, she leaves one loaf on her window for anyone hungry enough to take it. Montage. The days pass. Children laugh as they steal pieces of bread from the window. A mother takes one loaf and shares it among her kids. A traveler stops by, whispering a prayer before eating. The village wakes every day to the smell of Elsa's bread. Soft, golden and full of love. Her neighbors tease her. Neighbor, laughing. "Elsa, you'll go broke feeding the whole town." Elsa, smiling. A loaf of bread never made anyone poor. EXT Village. Autumn leaves swirl down the streets. The air grows cold. Elsa's health begins to waver. Her hands shake slightly as she kneads the dough. Still, she bakes. Always one loaf for the window. One morning, she finds the window empty but no crumbs, as if no one took the bread. She frowns, confused, but shrugs it off. The next morning, the loaf is still untouched. And the next, Elsa, to herself, strange. Maybe everyone's stomachs are full this week. But deep inside, she feels lonely. The act of giving had filled her heart. And now even that small joy seemed gone. Int Bakery. Night rain lashes against the windows. The bakery glows with warm candlelight. Elsa sits by the fire, reading her son's old letters. Lucas, voiceover, from letter. "Mama, your bread smells even in my dreams. I can almost taste it." "I'll come home soon." A tear slips down her cheek. Elsa whispers, "Soon." It's been months, Lucas. She places another loaf by the window before bed, just in case someone hungry passes by in the storm. EXT, bakery, dawn. The rain has stopped. The village glistens under the gray morning light. Elsa opens her door, expecting the loaf to be gone, but it's still there. Only this time, there's a small note placed on top. She picks it up, unfolding it with trembling hands. "Your bread saved a traveler's life. He said to tell you, kindness travels far." Elsa smiles through tears. Time passes. Winter snow blankets the village. Elsa's bakery glows like a lantern against the white silence. The same ritual continues. Bread on the window, always waiting for whoever might need it. But Elsa grows weaker. Her hands ache from the cold and her legs tremble. The villagers often tell her to rest. Villager. Let someone else bake for a while. Elsa, gently. If kindness rests, hearts grow cold too. Int Bakery. One evening Elsa sits near the fire, wrapping herself in a shawl. The bakery is quiet. The smell of bread lingers. Suddenly there's a knock at the door. She rises slowly and opens it. A young man, soaked in snow, stands there. His clothes are torn, his face thin, but his eyes shine with gratitude. Young man. I'm sorry to bother you, ma'am. I just wanted to say thank you. For your bread. Elsa looks at him, puzzled. Elsa. My bread? Have we met before, dear? Young man. No, not here. But your bread found me. He reaches into his coat and pulls out a small loaf, identical to Elsa's, wrapped carefully in cloth. Young man, softly. I met a stranger weeks ago on the road. I was starving, near collapse. He gave me this bread and said, "It comes from a kind woman who bakes for the hungry." Elsa's eyes fill with tears. Elsa, whispering, "You must be mistaken." Who was this stranger? The man shakes his head. Young man. He didn't give his name. Only said, "Tell her her kindness reached her own blood." Elsa's heart stops. She stumbles back, gasping softly. Elsa. My son, Lucas. The man nods gently. Young man. He saved me. Said he'd been traveling far, that he knew hunger too. He spoke of his mother's bread, how it reminded him of home. He said he was returning soon. Elsa clutches her chest, overwhelmed. Elsa. He was alive. He was helping others. The man looks down sadly. Young man. I'm sorry, ma'am. There was a storm that night. He didn't survive the cold. But his last words were about you. Tell my mother her kindness never went to waste. Silence. The sound of the fire crackles. Elsa's hands tremble. Tears fall freely but slowly. A soft, peaceful smile forms on her face. Elsa, whispering. He fed a stranger. Just like I did. My bread came back to me, through him. The young man looks at her with awe. Young man. Your kindness lives on, ma'am. Because of you and your son, I'm alive. Int Bakery, dawn, next morning. The camera pans slowly across the bakery, the light of morning glowing through frosted windows. On the windowsill sits a loaf of bread, steaming, perfect, fresh. But this time it's not Elsa who placed it there. It's the young man. He looks around the empty bakery, whispers softly, Young man. Rest now, ma'am. I'll keep your kindness warm. He hangs Elsa's apron by the window and walks out into the snowy street, carrying a basket full of bread. Montage. The legacy continues. The young man gives bread to hungry children in the village. The old neighbors smile, seeing Elsa's spirit live on. The bakery sign now reads, Elsa's bread, kindness baked fresh daily. A small framed note hangs on the wall. What you give always finds its way back. Fade out. Years later, a group of children plays outside the bakery. One girl asks the baker, Little girl, why do you give bread for free sometimes? The baker smiles, kneeling to her level. Baker. Because once a woman gave bread without asking who would eat it. She believed kindness is like yeast. It makes everything rise. The girl laughs. Little girl. Then I'll bake too when I grow up. The baker grins. Baker. That's how kindness keeps baking, little one. Final scene. Sunsetter. Soft golden light spills across the village. The bakery window glows warmly. On the sill sits a loaf, steam curling into the air like a prayer. Beside it, a faded photograph of Elsa and Lucas, smiling. A gentle breeze rustles the note under the bread, the same one that once said, Kindness travels far. The words blur into the sunset light as the camera slowly pans upward, toward the sky. Fade out. Title card. What you give always finds a way back to you.